Burn Unit with your host, the amazing Johnathan.
We are sitting here with Richard Faverty. Noel. Just Faverty. What's my last name? That's my
Celsius.
point. What is it?
Celsius?
No.
Is that close?
No. It's about as close as Slaverty is to Faverty.
All right, spell
So,
it. And then how do you pronounce it?
S-Z-E-L-E-S.
Well, it's Celsius.
Zealous.
Celsius.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so,
okay.
but I understand how to spell it, not how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's explain what Richard does for a living. He's not an English teacher, as it looks like we have right now. He is one of the finest photographers in the world, and he is the guy who chronicles Las Vegas entertainment. All the covers, most of the covers of the magazines use them. Magic Magazine use them. The billboards you see around Vegas, a lot of them are his, and he is becoming a monster out here. And the good part is he keeps his price right there. So that's how you've done it. I think that's how you've done it. Isn't it?
Yeah, arguing with you. It's taught me
You
a
don't
lot.
argue with me over price. Yeah, I guess we have our. Yeah, but I thought that you kept your price low. Maybe it's just me.
Well, you know, the funny thing about it is, most people who come in for picture, most acts, they come ahead of time and they say, well, what are we going to do? What are your ideas? Blah, 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 blah. And then we work out sort of a plan for a shoot. With you, okay, we're coming in at 2:30. So everybody's there at 2:30. Where's Johnathan? I don't know. I'll call him. Then Penny will call, Johnathan, get up. All right. And then, about 3:30, quarter of 4, you'll walk in the door.
Right.
And I'll say, well, what are we going to shoot? And Johnathan says, let me see what I got in the trunk of the car. And he goes, okay, I got this head, and I got these jumper cables, and I've got this dismembered arm. What do you got? Oh, you got a headdress for an Indian and a cowboy hat and handcuffs.
Yeah, Richard and I, when and the photo shoot ends at the same time the other ones do, and they look better. No, when we meet, Richard and I, we click on a certain level, and that's very important. We come out with some monster shots, and I thought that was special until I saw all his other shots, and I'm the same fucking thing with everybody else. You must click with them too, because I mean, these are basically your ideas, aren't they? Most of these things,
well,
or collaboration.
Unless they're right here denying it.
Yeah,
they're all my ideas.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you collaborate really well with your subjects. And,
part of it is understanding what people do, and we can talk later about what I did before I came out here in a specialty act. But that taught me a lot about what you need in the way of promotional materials and stuff like that. So
the lighting, your lighting is so fucking brilliant, and when you give Richard an idea, he lights it so perfectly, and it comes out just the way it does in your head, which is so rare to have that happen.
Well, sometimes it's easy. We did one shot of you that's one of the best shots I ever did. That was your idea, and you put the light down on the floor. You remember that picture?
Demonic, yeah.
And it's a phenomenal picture. And
now I don't have to do that anymore.
No, you can't.
It's there naturally. I have that natural underlighting.
A funny thing. The first time someplace I have it in here. Here's a good example of a picture that we hadn't planned. Johnathan came in, and what do you got around here? I got a fog machine. Oh, you got a piece of hose?
Yeah, hours of fun with a fog machine. Photographs or not.
Yeah.
That's been used on many covers and all over the place.
And it's something else. Like here's one of the very first pictures I did of Johnathan and Penny. I was pretty happy with the picture, and I took it in, and Penny looked at it, oh my God, I look beautiful. And Johnathan looked at it and said, what the fuck did you do to my face? I've been doing drugs for 10 years to get all the wrinkles and lines in my face, and you photoshopped them right out.
I don't like them.
He made me put all of the lines back in the pictures, but I kept the original because I
paid a lot of money for that.
Yeah, you can blackmail people. Oh, lots of ways.
Well, I don't like I don't like the photos there. I know you like them really smooth, and I like a little bit more character. All right, so grab a stack.
We're gonna take
We're
some.
just-
and
yeah,
we'll
he
pick
brought
some-
them from the studio. He just grabbed a big stack, and
Yeah, I
these
usually-
are all individual clients. Over the course of how many years do you sit with these?
These actually go back about probably 8 or 10 years.
8 or 10
I
years.
This is
just
a famous
I
event
put
with
I
Nathan
put
Burton.
At $500 to $1,000 a session for a couple hours, that's one. I'm not looking for photos. I'm just
Yeah,
how much you've made.
what can I tell you?
Look how beautiful!
You do what
it's
you
just
can.
unbelievably
We
beautiful.
did, yeah, or
Where are we showing? Yeah. What's that one? That's myself with the jacket I had made in Australia that I used to wear and think was cool. For God's sake, what the fuck was I thinking? And that's Erica and Penny. I don't know who's in the middle there. I don't know who that is.
I don't remember who that
But
is.
Richard
either.
came up with the. Do you have the
Who's
blood
that?
wall picture? You came up with the most fun idea we've ever done.
Not this one.
Richard had a gigantic, about this size, a white room, all perfectly white. And he said, let's bloody it up. And we had ketchup bottles, and we just splashed ketchup everywhere and made it look like blood. And then I went inside and took some.
Can you explain this? Can you explain this photo?
Some fag.
Well, I had the knife, and the funny
Oh, is
thing
that
is,
me? Some big fag.
You know, years ago I was in the show Splash at the Riviera Hotel, and when they closed their warehouse, they let me come in and take costumes. So I have all these mermaid costumes still hanging in the studio, and Johnathan grabbed it. And
I just happened to fit into one perfectly.
Yeah, and you know what I try to do? Like I do a lot of magicians just by accident. Well, yes, this happens to be two different magicians. That's Catalin.
Oh, is that Catelyn?
That's
Oh,
Catalin.
she's got a lot of different looks, doesn't she?
She really does.
Man, she looks like a whole different girl here.
She wanted to be a model, still wants to be a model and an actress.
Yeah.
But this guy is Banachek, and so we were trying to come up with a cover for Mum magazine, and threw out a whole bunch of things, and finally said, well, how about we do some bent spoons and knives and stuff, and have them falling down around you. And Banachek loved the idea, and
That's
that
not photoshopped either.
That made no, absolutely not. We went out into the country and threw thousands of knives in the air.
I mean, but the extreme is like I love this photo. I mean,
That's one of his best photos, I think.
I mean, it's just artistic.
That's Cat,
stunning.
right?
Is that Catalin as well?
That's not Catelyn,
No,
it's Cat.
that's Cat Hope.
That
Cat Hope.
just
Exactly.
beautiful.
Here's another. You know, the thing about Catalin is really nice. She's helped me with ideas when the iPad first came out. I wanted to make some pictures.
Oh, that's
using,
her on the iPad. I didn't
Yeah.
Half of
You
her
know,
head was
and-
bigger.
And then the
Oh,
thing,
that's really cool.
trying to do some
Can you-
different. Yeah, there we go. I mean, the idea for me is to keep trying to make pictures that are.
And this is the
fun
ventriloquist
and make
guy
me interested. So,
who sold his soul to work in Las Vegas.
isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Well, and here's a legend.
And
I mean, this
here's the
picture-
guy he kicked out,
Ron,
who
poor
was
Ron.
one
Oh,
phenomenal.
yeah. Ron Lucas. See, that's the
Ron.
thing. He's got the complete Vegas history sitting right here in our laps.
Well,
And,
look, this,
This is
which is
heavy.
one of the most famous pictures of Matt King.
Oh yeah,
right. That's Matt King.
yeah. And you know, sometimes I don't do a lot of Photoshop anymore, but a picture like this is there's 22 layers, believe it or not. Wow. And you know, the idea of Photoshop,
Matt
if
King
you're
or
going
to
to
the photograph?
just Matt King with the plaid and the wig and you know everything else. But
Mike wears a
you know,
wig.
I'm kidding.
This was the poster for V, a great picture.
That's probably the most famous picture in Vegas, I'd say. On all the billboards in Vegas.
For
that's
Jason Byrne.
That's probably the most striking billboard in Vegas.
But that's based on what was that based on? A famous painting that you had seen, isn't that the?
Yeah, it's a surrealist painting. But the way pictures come about is kind of weird sometimes. I was doing a calendar for Magic Magazine, and we had Jason and his then wife Randy coming in to do a photo shoot, and we had an idea planned, and they got into an argument, and she refused to come to the shoot, so it was just Jason and his birds.
Who did you get in a fight with? His girlfriend?
Brandy.
Oh, for Brandy.
Yes.
Oh, he was Brandy. Oh man.
And
I thought you meant Eliza.
No. This was many years ago. But anyway, so I didn't know what the heck to do, and I had to have a picture. It was going to the printer. And while we were shooting pictures of him with the birds, one of them flew in front of his face, and then it reminded me of the surrealist painting, and I sort of photoshopped that idea.
This
And
isn't
then-
a picture he did. This is just we want to know. Have you seen this man?
That's
We have your tribute
that's
artist here,
That's
Johnathan.
exactly right. That's
The Johnathan tribute artist.
Oh, Murray the Thief. See that? See that? Look at that face. Zoom in on that face because that guy is stealing my act. He's stealing.
But he is a good client of mine. He's a good friend, and I like him. So, in case you see this, Murray, I just want you to know that stealing is okay as long as people don't know about it.
As long as you're making enough money to pay Richard. That's a great picture.
Yeah. Here, this is Rachel Jessie or Scarlett.
Oh, here's Hitler, who I'm going to go to bat for Hitler on this one.
Yeah, well,
there's a magician that writes his own stuff as opposed to Murray the Thief. All right.
Fielding West.
Fielding West, that's a great photo. I like your erotic stuff a lot. I've been in the studio. I've had the privilege of sitting in the studio while Richard was doing two naked women, and
he was doing, or he was shooting them?
No, he was shooting them, and they were both ex-girlfriends, and
of yours, not mine.
Yeah, no, we actually.
My wife's in the audience. They get me into trouble. Why don't
we actually talked them into posing naked together, and they were so comfortable around Richard that they said yes. If it was just me with the camera, you bet that wouldn't have happened.
Well,
this was one of them.
And this was their boyfriend at the time.
Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah. Is that the hole in the guitar? Oh, okay, I just saw it briefly.
Yeah, but every once in a while, you get pictures that are really a lot of fun to do. Kevin James is a terrific guy. As you can see, I do a lot of pictures of magicians, and that's always a good time. But occasionally, I get people who were showgirls and had to quit.
Oh my God, some beautiful women. Who's this? Pretty.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You don't even remember her.
Right, yeah.
So
Andrew, you've had Andrew on the show.
Andrew's in our audience right now. Andrew, look at this picture of you. Okay, you got to swing a camera around to how he looks now, because it doesn't look anything.
Well, he just did the thing with the chairs with us too. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. Come sit and look. Yeah.
It was a couple of years ago. It was what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, probably 10 years. Yeah.
Pushing 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right when you first came here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. Show him that one. Show him that one.
This one?
That one where he's hanging.
Yeah, this is a good one. Yes.
He doesn't mind being naked, by the way. You could ask him. He'll a drop of a dime.
The other thing that's amazing to me about and Kelly with our friend Curtis who passed away. But the thing that's amazing to me about people doing suspensions is once they get up there, they don't want to come down. I guess the adrenaline kicks in, right? And they're jerking around, a lot of fun, and it looks painful.
I tried it once. I passed out before they even brought the hooks in the door, though.
That'll happen every time to me. Yeah.
It's not easy to do. It's got to. I mean, I'm not a pain guy. You got to be a pain guy. I mean, I hate when I get like a sliver, and it's like that wouldn't cut it for me.
Pain to me is when people don't have any money at the end of the shoot.
My motto is no pain, no pain.
But the nice thing, because we have got people watching from all over the world, they come to visit in Las Vegas, and if they want legendary Richard Faverty to take their photos, they can make an appointment, and as well as seeing the great shows and their vacations, they could have some incredible photos for themselves.
Absolutely. Done. You get 6%. Anybody who mentions Bruce Block's name.
Got it.
I'll show you how a commercial's done. I've been to a lot of photographers in my time. Bruce, maybe a few, but me, hundreds and hundreds of them. Some of them work for the studios. But I've never, ever had anything like this man in my life. From the moment you step through that door, you go, oh, you're holding a cold beverage, like magic, right? And then an hour or two seems like a minute or two. It's weird. He just makes time fly. He's the best photographer in the world, and I better get a fucking discount after that.
Well, yeah,
we won't fight over the next one.
No problem. That's
but you've done. You grew up in Chicago. You started in Chicago, and you started being one for magazines for serious stuff.
When I'm back in the '70s, I started photographing for the magazines, freelancing, Time Life, Business Week, Forbes, National Geographic, Sports, all the big things, all the things.
It seems like every 10 years, every generation, you kind of you swap around and you change
around and do different things. And towards the end of the '70s, a friend of mine got a job on the National Enquirer as a picture editor. So he started giving me work, and I seemed to do my best work on strange stories. And so I became, over a period of time, a freak specialist for the Inquirer. So, we got a cat with 2 heads, call Richard. We got a chicken that does laying green eggs, call Richard. We got some conjoined Siamese twins, call Richard. Wow,
Then you
we
came
got
to Vegas and the phone hasn't stopped ringing.
I'm telling you,
Now your studio's
It's the
called
same as-
Beckett Studios.
Yes.
Who is Beckett?
That's my middle name.
That's your
my
middle name.
that's-
Okay.
Beckett's kind of
My-
cool. I think I might have taken that one for my first name, man.
Yeah, but that's
Go see Beckett.
Dick-
He'll
Dick
fix you up.
Beckett?
No,
Is that
no,
you?
Dick Beckett's good, yeah. But just,
or Beckett Dick.
yeah, but we'll ask our cameraman. He used to make pornos. He knows all the names. No, I like Beckett. Beckett sounds cool. Just no last name, no first name, just Beckett.
All right, my next life, I'll do it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I can do that.
But anyway,
It's not
just
the sign on your door, though.
to make the segue to something else. So I started doing all these freak jobs all over the place, and I became a specialist in people who were abducted by UFOs and that kind of stuff.
And you get to meet
And yes, I
You're
and
so
more.
lucky.
Really. And anyway,
Did you take
I had
Pee-wee's-
an idea.
Pee-wee's face on the moon. Was that yours?
That's right.
Pee Wee Herman's face is on the moon.
I know. That's funny. Anyway, so I at some point I got a job from some magazine to photograph Americans playing with soap bubbles, a French magazine, and I had this idea to put a person inside of a soap bubble. So I figured out a way to put my 3-year-old daughter inside of a soap bubble by putting her in a big dish.
May she rest in peace.
And I raised up a bubble around it and closed it off. And so I sold the idea to the National Enquirer, and they ran a 2-page spread. And within 3 or 4 days of the magazine coming out, I'm getting calls from The Tonight Show and from What's My Line. They want me to put Kitty Carlisle and people you don't know anymore, and Nipsey
Kitty
Russell.
Carlisle, are you kidding me?
Nipsey
We all
Russell.
know Kitty Carlisle. Even kids know Kitty Carlisle.
They want to come and put in bubbles, and I turned all that stuff down, and I started making good money taking pictures of bubbles, and I blah blah blah. And by 1985, I did
You
a job.
became Professor
I
Bubbles.
did a job in Tokyo and met an agent here in Vegas, and I started making bubbles. And this is the kind of stuff that I did. I kind of, there were other people who had specialized in small bubble constructions and things, so I was kind of stuck with the gigantic soap bubbles.
I remember that skyscraper you built. And 300 people died.
That was an accident. It was an
Yeah,
accident.
The sign on the door said no pins.
It was not my fault, I tell you.
So
I almost went to jail for that.
you became Professor Bubbles,
Yep.
and you were still doing photography at the same time.
That's right.
But
And-
did you go for an extended gig in Tokyo? Was that like a long gig?
That one was just a couple weeks, but over the next 15, 20 years, I would do jobs for a month or 2 months, and my wife Lynn was really good because we had 2 little kids, and she would let me go away for that long. And
She let you go away because she didn't want any of her kids
well,
in soap
actually,
bubbles anymore.
at some point, I was home. I hadn't had a booking for a long time, and she said, "Why aren't you going away on a job again soon?" I mean, so it's the reason that we've been married 38 years.
How did you become Professor Bubbles?
I just, Reverend
there a
Bubbles
school?
didn't sound, 8 years of Bubble U, yeah. Reverend Bubbles didn't sound right. So the professor, it was in honor of my father, who was an English professor.
Mr. Bubbles was
Was he
taken.
proud of you?
Yeah,
Was he proud of you when you became?
they totally didn't get that at
No.
all. But what
Until this
they
came
didn't
out.
get, that's, well, actually, yes. So,
This is product now. Now we're talking product.
so my
How come it
first,
says Mr. Bubbles, not Professor Bubbles?
because the toy company that is the largest distributor of bubble solution and toys in the world, Strombecker Company, they owned the name Mr. Bubbles. I couldn't be Mr. Bubbles either. That's why I became Professor Bubbles. So we had
Right, Mr.
a
Bubbles
cross
is
life,
good
and I.
stuff, yeah.
So when I had this idea to do a book about bubbles after a while, because I knew so much about it, and so I wrote this little book, Professor Bubbles Official Bubble Handbook, and I think I autographed a copy here for you.
Did you?
I think I misspelled your name though.
Oh.
I'm going to have to redo that. But
So, this shows you how to do all this.
Yeah, so-
How to kill your daughter in a bubble. Here it is.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I thought this would have been made by Swiss Army.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a Swiss Army bubble blower. folks.
Exactly.
Look, you got different shapes, which they don't really come out that shape, do they?
No, they don't. And I used to get letters from kids, complaining
Crying.
because
No,
saying,
crying.
yeah, well, really, I paid $2 for that Swiss Army bubble blower, and the bubbles are all round. If I wanted round bubbles, I wouldn't have spent my money on.
Here's a question. Why wouldn't it come out diamond shaped?
Well, because it's a scientific reason.
Well,
that
tell
is-
us, Professor Bubbles.
What bubbles are minimal surface structures. So the forces of nature try to pull. See, there you go.
I know.
That's why I'm skipping over that. But
Well, you're
here's
the
the
professor.
thing. But here's the thing. The first act that I ever put together was a history of bubble blowing, and I had a Swiss Army knife that I knocked the magnifying glass out of, and I used it as a bubble blower.
So
And
you
I
actually
demonstrated
had the
it,
real one.
and I was looking for somebody to put up money to make this book, and I went to the bubble people, and they looked at the act, and they said, well, we don't want the book, but we'll license that from you. So that sold 32 million.
32 million
in
kids
19
who
Holy
didn't get
who got screwed over.
Mommy, I got it. It came in the mail. 5 minutes later.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's an impulse buy, caveat emptor. And in all fairness, on the back of the package there was a bubble trick, and I gave that away for free.
Would you show us how you blow?
Bubbles.
No.
Well,
I got a pan here.
All right,
I
well,
want to see.
here's what we
first of
gotta-
all, I want to see. I want to see the heart-shaped bubble.
yeah, right. You
All right, let's move your
get in line.
photos.
We got to move all this stuff.
All right.
Do you want to just stop this for a second, or just keep
I
going?
think we can just go. I don't need.
All
we
right,
need to.
all
We
right.
got the bubbles out.
All right. So
not
we
gonna
don't
work
care
anyway.
about
You
that.
already told us.
I already know. I'm retired. And this
You're
is
retarded.
yeah. Just since I got here.
Oh. All right. This is going to be the split level bubble where there's.
Now, this this has been in my car all day, so don't scald yourself on it. But
Mommy!
it didn't go out. Here, Bruce. This is a long one for you.
This will be good.
Oh, thank
Mommy,
you.
watch. This will be the diamond-shaped one. Mommy, watch.
My second invention, bubble toy invention, was was this one, which is
Yeah, that's
works-
fine. That's a fun one.
Yeah, you know what? I think
The only thing that hurts worse is you're putting your head in the fucking propeller for real. Yeah, Mommy!
it's too hot. I'm not.
You have a
kidding
better chance of doing this.
You know,
know
there's
what?
another bottle of bubble
It
solution.
is really hot. You're
I
right.
know. It's too hot to
Yeah,
make bubbles. It's,
too
that's
hot.
That's seriously why
I don't know
can't-
where the other one is, but I'm sure it wouldn't work. He told me that. This is the funny part. Before the show, he told me, I can't do it because it's not going to work. It'll work. Relax. Oh, fly swatter. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah.
Oh!
It's a gay detector.
That's right.
You can,
you
you
know
know
what?
what? You can be real serious when you when gay people see bubbles. It's like,
It's like the Lawrence Welk show.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, you can use anything to make bubbles, but seriously, it's just really hot here, and the bubble solution doesn't work well.
yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, you believe that?
got it all over my bubble book.
Yeah. Well, there's more. I've got one for everybody in the audience.
Wow, you got 3 of them?
This is another one of these little jobbers. You put bubble
Oh my
solution.
God! No, this is a fancy way of
and you,
disappointing the kids.
Yeah,
We'll put a handle on it.
that's a $7 weight.
They'll say maybe this one doesn't work, but the one with the handle does.
Yeah. Yeah, really, it's just
Soap all over. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna go get your other soap. Hey, who's not wired in? Jason, go back there and get the other soap that's not like 150 degrees. Right back, right behind this wall here.
Yeah, let's.
If you do it right and fast, Proper Boy will give you this.
We're back.
Wait till you see this, Michael. Let's see. This is gonna blow your mind.
or maybe not.
Already we have the Swiss Army bubble maker with the different shapes.
We saw
can make
heart-shaped bubbles.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Hardly shaped bubbles.
Yeah, this is really hot. I know it's not gonna work.
This might be better. We'll see. You can try
Fly
that.
swatter idea is great. Did we ever say cut?
No, this is good. This is cool.
It's cooler. I don't know
If
if
it
it's
doesn't work, it's an effective product.
Doesn't work. It must
No, it works.
Well, yeah, it's for what I want to do. Well,
It's a good spy thing if you want to blind the guy.
You know, there's a reason. There's a
He
reason.
thinks it's gonna be
There's a
bubble.
reason I got out of bubbles.
Because it's unpredictable.
That's right.
God, there's not a chance this would work in hell.
Look at that.
Did you see that, Richard?
Yeah, I saw it. You're good.
I'm Professor Bubbles.
So you can make
It's just
bubbles.
a matter of speed.
Is that it? You can make bubbles
All right.
with your hands too. You don't need all these fancy toys. See, look at that. No, you're
What are
good.
you doing with your hands?
Well, I'm just saying you
Oh,
can
it's
make
square.
You can make. Well,
So you
yeah,
can
there
make
you go.
square stuff.
Or
From this angle, it's very
puppet.
impressive. What the fuck did you just do?
nothing. Really.
How did you?
You can get your hands wet, and in theory, you can make bubbles. Yep. That's a pretty big. Look at you. Where were you?
Let me
when
show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it.
Let me try the hot stuff again.
It's all in the matter of
Is that it?
grace, poetry in motion. That's great.
You don't know.
So
That's great.
So
That's all.
I've seen it on Carson. The guys who can put smoke inside of bubbles. And have
Yeah,
Can you do
Tom,
that stuff?
I used
say
to.
yeah,
I used,
because this
yeah, I
stuff
used
was-
to. I used
stuff
to do
didn't
that,
work,
but
so it's just say
yeah, I used to do that. All that stuff, but I'm not going to do that here.
I know.
I'm not going to.
We've
I'm
seen
not
that.
going.
We've
How
seen
many
that.
times can I fail?
Wow.
So far, 5. But this is good.
Oh, we're done.
This is yeah. Bubble Man's done. No, this is good. I think Boeing looked at this design. Okay, that was fun. I told you before, whether it worked or not. Show them the jacket, Richard. Show them what you used to wear amongst this chaos.
Well, I used
Look
to.
at this.
I used to wear the Professor Bubble jacket.
Oh, and he had this made. Because you don't buy these off the rack. If you could, they'd be gone.
Show the back. Look at that.
Professor
That was
Bubbles.
my finale. Yeah, how about that? Oh, yeah.
And he still fits, yeah.
Yes, and it's all made of vinyl, so you could die.
Oh
in
my
this.
God, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
It's like 140 in here alone.
Yeah,
You just
that's
lost
okay.
30 pounds.
Thank God.
Well, Richard, this has been great, man. We appreciate you coming. No, this is exactly how I wanted it to end. Perfect.
Well, that's a
Hey,
good
put
thing.
it down. Bruce. Yeah. See, try to.
There you go.
I just wanted some atmosphere as you signed off.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the atmosphere.
A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been sitting here with photographer extraordinaire and professor of bubbleology.
That's good. Yeah, very good. Very good.
That's really cool. Mr. Richard Faverty with an L.
Beckett. Remember Beckett.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Johnathan.
That was great. All right.